she's like my second child. So I would
Hmm.
always say I have two daughters, one two-legged and one four-legged. So when I used to say which of the daughters you're speaking about, I would say my four-legged or my two-legged. I would say that way.
Thank you so much, Sandhya ji, for volunteering for this and willing to share your story. So I've actually not met Sandhya ji before. Plus, I'm in Bangalore. She's in Jodhpur because she moved to Jodhpur a few months ago. So that is the reason that we have to do it on Zoom, and this is the best I think we can do. But thank you so much for accepting this.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Really
Thank you.
happy to do it.
Thank you, ma'am. So, what we'll start with is I heard that roughly 15 years ago, your daughter actually went on a hunger strike, is what you told me. So, why was that exactly? Can you tell me about that?
See, what happened? One of my friend came to Bangalore. We were at that time in Bangalore when I took Princy. So she had
Mm.
come on transfer. She came with a beautiful white lab called Gulu, and Gulu was such a he was such a docile, such a beautiful dog, and he was a big influence for all the children in the campus, and within 10 days there were puppies in everybody's houses, and we were the last because I was a little hesitant to keep a dog because of his responsibilities, and a little saying, thou, I'm a dog lover, but my daughter was like, no, my classmate has got, now you have to get it. So she went on a hunger strike. So 3:30 we went, 4:30 Princy was home. So that was one big day, and the whole thing was influence was Gulu. Gulu had a big influence in our life to get Princy. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That
Vidya
was,
becoming is our common friend actually, and
yeah.
her dog was Gulu, and I have met Gulu for a brief period of time because he was a very elderly dog when I met him. He was just the sweetest dog, and my first dog Zoe was very small. She was just like a 2 months or something like that, and Gulu was so sweet with her. She was jumping all over him, and he was completely fine. So
And
yeah, I remember that.
Gulu won't do a thing. Princy would do
Yeah.
that. He would just lie, and Princy would be all over him, going into his mouth and catching his tongue also. But Gulu wouldn't say a thing. He was such a noble soul.
He was really, and I know why you're saying that Gulu was an influence to others also because he was really the perfect dog. That's how Vidya also puts it.
Yeah,
He was the
absolutely.
perfect dog that anyone can have.
Yeah, I know.
Great. So, what I also heard from you is you are Prince's person. So, can you share some of the memories that you have with her?
Yeah, so when we went to get her from wherever we had to, so she was like all through that 1 hour stay over there, she was with me, like chewing my chappals or chewing my dress all over me, like it was like she started with her life was jumping over me only. It was like that. That's how the thing continued, and then it went on and on. Like she wouldn't leave me anywhere, she wouldn't go anywhere. Like I had a fractured toe, but she wouldn't go for a
Mm.
walk with anybody. She wanted ki my mother only has to take me for a walk. So it was basically like I would limp with the plaster on, and limp and take her for a walk. But she
Wow.
refused to go for a walk with anybody else except me.
She was
That's it.
super attached to you. I can
Yeah.
see her in the background. She's just trying to find a good spot to sit, I guess.
I don't know whether she's trying to find a good spot or she's trying to jump down. I don't know. So anyway, she'll settle down. My
Okay,
husband's
she's
there
just
to look
trying to
after her
settle.
at the back.
Yeah, yeah. He's just trying his level best, I think.
Yeah, I know. We're just
Okay,
trying to settle her
amazing.
down.
So few months ago, you moved to Jodhpur from Bangalore, and you
Yeah.
had to take Princy along, where you had to make a choice that should it be by flight, should it be by car, by train, and you chose the train finally. So how
Yeah.
was that journey? But also tell us a little bit about how you prepared for that journey so that it becomes the best journey for her.
Yeah. See what happened in March. Suddenly, we got the posting order that we are moving from Bangalore to Jodhpur. That's totally
Mm,
south to the west, extreme west. And it was a peak summer season where we had to come here. So there was a
mm,
time when she was in the younger days when we used to travel. We used to travel with her in the car. I never took
okay.
a chance on the flight because I was no.
Mm,
I've never been confident about it. So, and we used to take her, but now because she was way too old to take the car journey, like, sitting in one position and all, we decided to take the call to go by train. That is 48 hours from Bangalore to Jodhpur. There's a direct train.
wow.
So we took that train. And then the thing starts is I was not more worried about my luggage because I know it would be empty, it would go somehow. Now, how I had to take her was I used to jot down. First, I went through lots of reviews on, I mean, like, Google questions and all, like, how to travel and all. So from other people,
Right.
I started getting feedback. And then I started making a checklist, starting what all to carry. Believe me, I had a 24 inches suitcase, only her luggage. That's all. It was only her luggage. So it started with first, when we have to get it, you have to apply an AC first class. With a dog, we can
Mm,
travel only by AC first class. So if the train
mm,
doesn't have AC first class, we cannot take the dog. With us, we will have to put it with the guard in the cage at the end of the
mm,
train. Now, this train luckily had AC first class. So there again, because we are only two of us and Princy, we opted for a coupe. Like they
mm,
have a cabin and a coupe. The cabin is of
okay.
four berths and the coupe is of two berths. So we
Mm,
opted for that. Now, after that, we have to put an application about a week before we travel to the station master saying that because AC first class, the chart is released only 3 hours before the departure. So
mm,
you will not know your birth number and all number and all. So what we did it 1 week before, we have to put up a letter to the station master saying that we are
okay.
traveling with a dog with a confirmed ticket number, saying that this is a confirmed ticket and we are traveling. So please give us a coup. Then 2 3 days
Mm,
before that, we have to go get a fitness certificate from the vet. Fit
mm,
to travel certificate. It's a fit to travel
okay.
certificate and the vaccination card. Along with these two documents, we have to go to the parcel office in the station,
Mm, mm,
railway station, which is always in the
okay.
number one platform. There, once you go there, then they will, see everything. And then, I mean, that's just a formality because the chart anyhow will be released only that day. Then, when you
Mm,
go back again, the final day, you have to take another fit to travel certificate because this will be already 2 to 3 days old, which we have submitted to the parcel office and all. So again, on the
mm,
day of the travel, we have to get it more than 24 hours before. Like suppose I
oh,
traveled on July 21st. So on July 20th, I took another fit to travel certificate. So these two documents,
okay.
we have to show it at the parcel office and then they will issue the ticket. That is again 3 hours
Mm,
before. So it's
mm,
not that if I go 4 hours before, the parcel office will give me a ticket for the dog. No. 3 hours,
okay.
once the chart is released, then only they will give me a ticket for the dog. So
Got it.
that is how they take. Usually they take, I think, 70 or
Mm,
80 rupees per kilo of the dog.
mm,
But they
mm,
take it as randomly 60 kilos wala weight, that amount. They
okay.
take it that way.
Mm,
So whichever
mm,
way is convenient for them. And
okay.
then comes the checklist which I had made. It started with basic medications for the dog. I got
Mm,
anti-anxiety medicine for the dog. Sometimes what
mm,
happens with the noise of the train, because our Indian trains make a lot of noise, the dog may get anxiety. And so anxiety medicine or gastritis, acidity, all that,
mm,
painkillers. These are the basic medicines which I carried with me. Then
right.
lots of newspaper, lots of
Mm,
newspaper I carried. And then I carried old bed sheets, old cloth for
mm,
cleaning and everything. And
right.
bed sheets, we should be ready that it has to be used and thrown sometimes. I also carried the pee pads, which you get.
Mm,
The pee
mm,
pads, which are
mm,
common for humans as well as dogs, those big size ones. You carry
right.
that so it's easier if they dirty, or if they pass this thing, it's easier to clean it. And
Right.
old t-shirts to make them wear in the AC because it
Mm.
will be cold. So old
Cold.
t-shirts to make them wear, which again goes use and throw. So I contacted my friends, please give me your children's old t-shirts. I carried about 5, 6 of them with me. And I also carried a small carpet. I've shared some pictures with you. In that, you will see there's a carpet also. So what
Mm.
happens? The flooring gets cold, even if you put
Mm.
newspaper. I carried a bed, her blanket, all that also with me. So what happens when even if you put newspaper, that it tends to get cold. So what I did was I put the carpet, then I put the newspaper, and then I put her bed.
Mm.
Then her rubber sheet, bed sheet, all that was there. Not to forget the water bowl. And she is hand fed, so I carried her plate. Otherwise, you can carry her food bowl, which has to be
Bowl.
cleaned
Mm.
regularly. And so I did that. And all these things were there. I carried a lot of dog food with me, pet
Right.
wipes to clean them. So these are very
Mm.
important things. By God's grace, I didn't have any trouble with her through the journey because it was like a rocking thing. So she kept sleeping through peacefully. That was what it is. So halfway through, I would just, pick her up, put her on the berth, then clean her bed, make her fresh bed, and then put her down on the
Mm.
bed again to sleep. So these are the basic things which we need to take care of: is old clothes, newspaper, disposable bags. Sorry, I forgot. You have to carry a lot of
Mm.
disposable, like you have the dustbin bags, because when you throw,
Right.
you can't just randomly throw it. So you have to put
Mm.
everything in the bag, tie them, and then throw it. So
Mm.
that is one more thing which we have to carry: the wipes, the water bowl, and the food. If the dog has dry food, well and good. Otherwise, chapatis can be carried. I mean, it depends on what the
Mm.
dog eats. Like I carried dog
Mm.
food and I didn't carry the packets. I got the small packets which occupy less
Right.
space. The 25 rupees, you get pedigree small packets.
Mm.
So I carried those so that, it doesn't occupy a lot of space and weight thing. So dog food. And then my friend packed in chapatis for me. So my Princy madam had it with cheese all through the journey. So dog food and that. So this was how the journey was. And even at the station, after getting her down, I couldn't walk her because it's a little difficult for her to walk. So I put her on
Mm.
the trolley, luggage trolley. So along with the
Yeah.
luggage, I put her bed on that and I put her on that. So these are the things. And
Right.
then that 48 hours journey, we got down again at Jodhpur in the peak of heat, mid
Mm.
afternoon at 2 o'clock. And it
Oh
was
wow.
a so again, I put her on another trolley and got her out of the plus station. So this was how my 48 hours journey
Amazing.
went. Very challenging, but adventurous. And all through, my friends wouldn't ask me, Sandhya, how are you? Or how is Satish? Or how is the journey? It was like, how is Princy doing? Hope she's eating her food. Hope she's comfortable. So it was like that. So this was how my
Amazing.
journey was.
Amazing. I mean, there was so much preparation before also, and it shows how loved Princy is with all of you. You
Yeah,
you really took care of her, and at this age also, she was able to make that journey only because of your preparedness, of how prepared you were, and how it
everything which we
all of
did.
that went.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, she did
amazing.
that. But see, if you have a dog who's able to walk and all now, then it's very
Mm.
comfortable when
Becomes
the dog
easier.
sleeps on
Yeah,
the berth and all. It's more comfortable. For her, extra
correct.
preparation because she couldn't move up and down, so I had to put her a bed down. So that was a little
Right.
extra bit of work which we're doing. It was like, मैंने like people were saying when they saw the pictures, was संध्या तूने पूरी गृहस्थी बता ली उस ट्रेन में so much it was like a small household, over there.
It was almost like that. Yes, it actually sounds almost like that. What I loved about Princey also is that she volunteered as a therapy dog for some time, and that's really beautiful. Can you share of that experience with us?
Yeah, see, in our services in Air Force, we have a school for special children. This is called Umeed Asha Kiran School, which is run only for special children. Like,
Hmm.
and she is basically a very docile and a very friendly dog, social
Mhm.
to animals, humans, children, everything. Very happy and
Hmm.
that way. So one of a senior lady, when she said that you should get her to the school, so that the children feel nice. The stress they go through and all they'll feel relaxed. So for the first time, I was a little hesitant. I mean, like I took her, but I was a little apprehensive. I don't know how she would react or how would the children react. But then I realized that she's so soft and docile. She would just go and sit, and those children would be all over her, pulling her ears, pulling her hair, skin, tail, but she wouldn't utter a word, no chew, no cha. But the session would only be for 15 to 20 minutes, and twice a month I would take her. And after that, what happens is that, there's so much of negativity and stress that she would get exhausted. So, but she being a very, and like, there are times when it used to rain and I wouldn't take her for a month or two. The children would ask me, in their language and everything, why didn't you get her? So I would tell her it's raining. So then they would say, like this, they would say, get her in the car. They would tell me in their language,
Sweet.
So that way. So they would also look forward for that session. So she has been a pet therapist over there.
Amazing. And because of her nature, inherent nature of how she is, I think it's really important that such kind of a dog actually becomes a kind of a therapist for these children. And like you said, she doesn't react in a bad way. She is very docile. She's very loving. So even if the situation was like too many children and all, because they're special children, they also do not every time know how to behave around an animal and etc. Right? But I can see, I mean, the few photos and videos are so nice that she's just standing and she's just being there, and she knows what she's doing actually.
Exactly. Actually, pet therapy is something I feel like it should be introduced into the schools, even in civil. We should have a pet therapy. It removes the anxiety and the stress which nowadays children go through. They
very
should
true.
I think in foreign, I think there are schools which allow this pets and all into the schools to relieve their stress and anxiety. So we should do that in India also.
I think that's a really good
Vidya
suggestion.
Vidya had always told me when we used to go for a walk, Sandhya, you have to get her to be social. So her social was with the dogs, with the humans, with the children. Vidya used to always emphasize the dog has to be social, the dog has to be social. So that's how I ended up making Princy very social.
And that's true, because that really helped form her nature and the way that she handles stress, the way she handles humans and other animals. And that's where she learned how to behave. And obviously there has to be some inherent qualities as well.
Yeah.
That's really good. Thanks for sharing that.
There was a time when I got a baby hawk. It was injured. So we had got that baby hawk also. And it was in my veranda for about a few hours, because in the day we would leave it in the garden, and then it would go to my servant's house in the night till it learned to fly again. But when I would get her into my veranda, I've never seen Princy trying to harm the hawk or something like that, She would just be, okay, I'll just smell this bird and go. It was to me that way. She's been a real,
That's unique. That's really unique, because they tend to chase birds and etc. So and it's a completely different species, right? But it's really good that you were able to take care of a hawk as well. So what happened? What happened about with the hawk? I mean, you released it again, or
it was a little injured. It grew up a little bit. It was there with us for 15-20 days. And sometimes it would be with me in the day. I would leave it in my garden so that it gets some freedom. And then it grew and then it flew.
Okay. Nice. Great. So altogether, it's a 14-year long journey. Long but plus. Adventurous. Yes, 14 plus actually. So adventurous, beautiful journey with Princy. So when you look back, what do you feel when you look back at this journey?
She has been a blessing for us. She came like an angel, and she's been a blessing for us. She has stood by me. She came 6 months after I lost my father. Exactly 6 months after I lost my father. So she stood by me in the hard times, the happy times, when I'm sad, when, I feel low. She would, do something to distract me out of that situation. like, and she was always a bubbly and a very naughty girl. So she would do something to get me off the situation. So looking back, I feel we have been blessed, and it's been very productive, and something to a very memorable uh, time with her. So
You definitely gave her a memorable life, and she in turn, dogs have that they we are the world to them, like we say.
yeah,
So our world revolves around them, and yes, they are a very important part of our family. But for them, we are the world. There's nothing else important or of priority for them. And you really made that journey of such a long journey very beautiful for her. So thanks to you for doing that, you and your
I
family.
hope so. I hope so. I did, because she's like my second child. So I would
Hmm.
always say I have two daughters, one two-legged and one four-legged. So when I used to say which of the daughters you're speaking about, I would say my four-legged or my two-legged. I would say that way. So that way. So she's been like my second child. I've never discriminated
Lovely.
anything. Rather, my daughter would say कि मेरे को तो खाना ऐसे घुमा घुमा के नहीं खिलाया तुमने. खाना है तो खाओ, नहीं तो मत खाओ. Like, what for her, I would, you sit with her and feed her and push it down her throat, like, you have to eat.
Lovely, lovely, Sandhya ji. Thank you so much for sharing your life and
Thank you
sharing
so
about
much to you
Princy.
also. Big thanks to you also for coming forward and asking me to share my experience. And I really
This
enjoyed
is
talking to you. You really worked hard in coming forward and recording this session so that other people, and trust me, in case somebody has any doubts about anything, I'm open, welcome to, they can contact me. And I mean, if they ask you, definitely you can give my number, they can contact me for any doubts. I have no problem at all. Will always.
thank you so much. We can do that.
So it's been a
Yeah.
excellent memorable journey with her. And I mean, I'll just cherish her and her life with me.